What's going on, guys? Hippo's back for the next part of this series, and in this part we're going to do a little bit more cleanup, and there's a couple of things that I wanted to address. Now, number one, when I give the ant a food target in the beginning, I'm getting it randomly, which is causing a lot of the ants to go for food that isn't close to them. In fact, it's causing some of them to walk over food. So, what I may do, I have a simple solution, which is to just not spawn hungry, which will skip this segment here anyway, and just go straight to set the mama target. So, that will fix it, but what if I did want them to have a target right when they start? Because they'll pick up a food target eventually, but it's going to happen through the service, which is slightly delayed. So they're all going to start walking in one direction and turn around to their food, instead of starting facing their food right in the beginning, you know? But keeping in mind the fact that underneath in the final result, I don't want my spawners to be here. I want them to be like here, with a hole thingy in the wall where they can come out of, so I don't see them spawn and do something. I'll give them like a little area where they can pre-sync themselves, and then they can come trucking out when they finally get their result. That's kind of the idea that I'm going to end up with in the end. So if you'll notice here on the spider spawner, I actually have a button here for spawn in view, which means that if the point that it chooses can line of sight you, if that is checked, it'll still spawn. If I uncheck that, I'll basically, if I'm standing like out here, spiders will only be able to spawn back here because I'll be able to see everything. They'll be able to spawn behind these guys and stuff, but anywhere it tries to choose to spawn, it'll run a line sight check first to see if it can see me. That way I don't see it spawn. I don't actually let it spawn behind me. I still make sure that it can't see me, because if that were the case, they would spawn like literally right behind me, and that would be funny and weird if you looking one direction and you turn around, and then all of a sudden you turn around, there's something right there in your face. That's dumb. So just make sure that the thing can't spawn in a spot where you can see you. That way it always has to come from around a corner. So that'll be what I'm going to do in the end. So I don't really care about that. So all I'm going to do is just turn off the spawn hungry and let them do their thing. Now the other problem is what I'm about to illustrate right now, or show. That is that when I spawn a lot of them, like you see here, 400, not only is my FPS going to drop, okay, just go ahead and let you see that go on its little plummeting dive as they spawn in, and it's been going down to about 30. Now with recording, that's going to be a little bit lower, but normally I'm roughly at about 30 with all 400 at the same time. But it teeter-totters, and sometimes it drops down to like 10, and a lot of it is because with so many of them, they get all clustered amongst themselves, and they get stuck in these big groups, and they just that just spirals out as they try to get to the points. So we need to fix that so they don't get stuck anymore, and I'm not exactly sure how to do it, or what's the most efficient approach, but that's the approach that I'm looking for. And what I may do is have them respawn on collision with each other. If they bump into each other, they'll take an action. I have actually been observing ants, and when they do bump into each other face to face, almost 100% of the time, both ants flip a 180. They just turn around and go the other way. And that is in real life. I've seen it. I was watching them outside, and they were doing it. I don't know if that's just because that's that type of ant, or the science behind it, or anything like that, but that's what they were doing, so that's what I'm going to try, I think. But let me illustrate what it looks like when they get all squirreled. Okay, it's going to get kind of laggy. Now they should pretty much all go for close food, and I actually do have a bunch of food way over there. You can see I'm also counting how many ants we have, so you can kind of reference what it's doing to the frame rate. It's steadily going down. Now, like I said, I normally would hit between somewhere around 27 and 30 when I was testing this. You can already see they're stuck. Right? They're already stuck. And they're starting to now spam I can't get home. Right? So they're all pretty much, I think, in blocked state right now. Now, I can actually do some fun, silly stuff every once in a while. Like, I can actually pick one of these guys and be like, I just move them over to here. And sometimes I can actually like unstick them. So sometimes it really is just one of them that's holding up the whole bunch. I mean, it's kind of like humans, you know, like on the freeway. See, look, I moved that guy, and now all of a sudden they all start doing other stuff, right? They're now trying to go another direction. So this guy right here, this guy was the frickin' rubbernecker. You can see that when I move my camera around that my FPS is dog shit, like really low. And like I said, Camtasia is bringing it down quite a bit, and I'm not even at 400 ants yet. But a lot of this, like I said, has to do with the fact that they're still pretty stuck. Okay, they're going for the cheese way over there, but they're very stuck right now. So I got to get them not to do that. I'm not entirely sure. Kind of weird that they're all doing this weird wavy motion. That's very strange. I know it's laggy for you guys, but they're waving around. So I'm settling at about 15 FPS. It's laggy. It doesn't feel great. I don't even know if they're moving. Yeah, the ants go marching one by one. So they're making their way. That's a lot of ants. I'm not going to be spawning this many in the game. This is a stress test. And it shows what's going to happen when, this is kind of like a more of a like a giant scale version of what can happen in a local spot. So without them having, it's weird, right? Look at them all. They're all kind of going left and right all together, like in this weird wave. I don't know if that's just because, I don't know what that's all about. I know they're just moving straight there. They might be, yeah, no, they're like strafing. It's strange. Oh, I also toyed with the notion of making them all group up together to to pull a larger object. Also, I forgot to show everybody. I've had this in the game for ages, and I completely forgot that I can do this. Right? Yes, Pinky, that is how you do it. So I wiped out 150 of them. Their corpses will eventually die away. But yeah, that was a lot. So it's just a generic grenade placeholder right now. But it blows them up, which is pretty fun. They'll even push the corpses around and stuff. I still haven't fixed their ragdolls. Oh, you guys got a bunch of cheese. Watch the guy, he'll put the cheese will actually get put down. See? Wasn't that cool? Right? That whole little thing I did worked out perfect for the cheese. Even though their corpse got blown away. That's what's beautiful about it. Because it's kind of independent of the ant, you know? But you can see now that they're not spastastic freaking out anymore. I think maybe that like the RVO avoidance is what's causing that oddity. You know, I'm not entirely sure. But like I said, what I want to try to do is see if I can't get them to react to each other, and maybe they can unsticker themselves. So what needs to happen is, this is a new day for me and it's late. It's after midnight, but this is as early as I get back to it. So let's come here. Okay, so if we look at the capsule component, we check out the collisions. It's an AI cylinder, and it will bump into other AI cylinders, and it will generate a hit event. So what we can do is we can say on component hit, we can just hit this plus guy, and then we can say if I hit another ant, that's all I need to check. If I hit another ant, okay, you'll see why I'm going to do this. Basically, I know I need to go into like I just bumped. Okay, so I could actually tell myself and the other guy that we both got bumped at this moment here. He'll know it already though, because he just bumped me. But the question is whether or not he just got hit by 2 ants at once. You saw how many ants are all clustered together. They're going to be getting bounced around from each other from all directions at all times. They're just going to be getting spammed on this. So that's why I did the do once, and then I'm going to delay a reset so that it can't happen too often. Let's see. So so we set bumped. We should communicate this to the behavior tree so that he picks a new point somewhere behind himself. And I'll show you a pretty cool way to do that. Let's see. Let me think. So if that gets set there, let me go to the event graph here really quick, and just want to double click this guy so I can get the player controller open, because I actually want to do this here. Oh shit. For some reason I always think that I'm typing into the custom event. I don't know why I do it. And this will be set bumped. Alright. And yeah, we're going to have to take it down the whole chain. I mean, we want this functionality, so this is what we got to do. But at least it's fairly brain free, right? Like I don't really have to think about what I'm doing here. It's pretty easy. I can't do that. I gotta do it off of here. And I might as well, I don't even care to do that. I mean, if I'm gonna fire this, I'm gonna fire it as true. So I don't need to give the option. I mean, if I do, I can just go back and put an input right on this guy. So now let's go to our new stuff here. I probably don't need this, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Okay, so then essentially I think I can just cheese this. You can only get bumped every no, you know what, even every 3 seconds. Like that. It just so doesn't know what to do with the spline there. I love it. Alright, so yeah, that should do it. I mean, after 3 seconds he can do it again. So he'll only be able to try this. Well, he shouldn't really be bumping into much else. But I'm kind of thinking that he not bother if he doesn't bump into an ant. So everything he bumps into, he'll at least check what it is. If he ever hits a gnat, he'll lock us out for 3 seconds. But he'll do these two things first. So now we need that blueprint. That behavior tree entry. So let's go to get our behavior tree, and we'll get the blackboard here, and we'll say new key, and we'll call that bumped. Bull bumped. Keep doing it. Keep typing one too many. Alright, so if he gets bumped at any moment, even when he's returning the food, he should do this, I think. We'll add a new sequence. And this is basically gonna be a new task. Okay, we pick the last one. End up with a huge list, I guess, and when you have a final game, right? My list is getting semi-large, but it's really not that big. And that's gonna be BTT blueprint task or something weird. Here it is. So this will be BTT bump correct. We'll call it that for now. Bump correct. Okay. Receive, execute. What we're going to do, we're going to get actor rotation, get the forward vector, multiply that by a float. We'll promote that to new correction distance. Okay, and then we'll get actor location. Actually, why don't we just do get actor location, get rotation. I thought there was a get rotation and location. Well, whatever. Same shit. And then we'll add these together. Now to get him to go behind us, we can just make this negative. Or if I want to separate that, you know, and then now I can just keep the distance as positive, right? I can flip that. I don't want to subtract here because it then negative would take it forward. It'd be weird. I guess probably not. And then we'll just say AI move 2. And you're gonna try to go here. So he's only gonna remember he's only gonna do this, you know, once every 3 seconds when he hits something. Maybe that's enough. Maybe it's not. Acceptance radius, we'll say 50 again. He's only actually going to correct himself very, very close. So it's actually going to be like negative, maybe 150 or 3. We'll try 300 for now. See how far that is when he's actually doing the walk. I could, this location right here, if I wanted to, you know what I'm saying? I could try I could do this instead, but this is a little overhead that I probably don't need. I probably can just shoot him right behind me, and I can say, yeah, the radius, you know, it's like 50 around there, somewhere around there, right? But that's the thing, I mean, I don't know if any of this is, if this is efficient. I don't think this is efficient. I don't think this is something that you're supposed to use really, really fast or a lot. But again, this isn't going to be happening really, really fast or a lot, I don't think. Well, a lot is in the eye of the beholder. There's going to be 400 of these guys. For now, in the final game, I'm going to probably stick to about 30 to 60 at a time. So I keep a smooth frame rate as much as possible. I may even strip out some of their behavior during certain moments of the game. That's the other thing too. A lot of this stuff might be a little much, you know? A little bit unneeded. Uh-oh. I did this for the spiders too a long time ago. I don't think I used the same theory. I think I had both the spiders turn left. They went to their left instead of behind, and I think I might end up doing that here too, because I think it worked out better. I think I did try them turning straight around, and they would like hit each other, and then they would try to turn around. They would hit something midway through that, and then they would just never get out of it. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. But yeah, now I should be able to pick the right one. Yeah, bump correct. Okay, and here's the other thing. So when we go in here, so we need to finish execute on pretty much success or fail. Most likely with a success in both cases, because if we review, they'll stop executing when one of their children fails. If a child has a sequence fails, if all the children succeed, then the sequence succeeds. Yeah, because I think they'll stay in here until one of them fails or another key pulls them out. But we need a decorator here, so we'll say decorator, and that will be bumped. Okay, so if bumped is set, we are going to abort lower priority everything for now. This might be an absolute disaster. So we'll see what happens. But at the end, not only do I want to do that, but I want to set value as bool, promote that, and this will be bumped key, like a bump key, and then that'll be off basically to false. So to be honest, if I'm gonna send them both, I might as well just do this. So we succeed either way, and we clear the bump key either way. Now the creature himself is still set to bumped. So like I said, I'm not using this, but it does happen. However, what doesn't happen is this ever getting unchecked. Okay, so if we do need to use it to check something, like make sure that he can't do something when he's been bumped, then we will need to fire that back. We'll have to cast here. Okay, I really, you know, one of the things I kind of wish that we could have would be, I don't know if this is possible, but like in almost all of these, I'm having to cast. So it would be kind of nice if they could all, like, if all of the casting could be done like on some kind of gather node thing here, and then I could just grab them from here. Like this would be all my global variables for my whole character, and then they can all just see them everywhere, so I could just get the PC. I could stop casting on every single one. Does that seem like a reasonable idea, or does that seem like it would cause more trouble? That's the question. Well, I guess I'll give it a shot. I gotta make sure that bumped key is set to bumped. That is set to bumped. Okay. I mean, all we can do is test. Probably not doing anything. Well, bouncing on top of each other a little bit. I think that I'm going to turn off that RVO avoidance and see if they still keep moving side to side like that. I really don't like that, and I got an error. Ah, shit. I forgot to hook that up. Stupid, stupid. That probably would help. Yeah, see, some of them are just crawling over the food to get another piece way over here. I mean, he seems to figure it out afterwards, but maybe it's because he's in error correct. That's just strange movement and behavior all around. But I mean, it would make sense that they can't get to the spot, right? So that's okay. And I still got an error. Set bumps. Access none ant PC. What? The Anim blueprint is accessing none from ant self character. Well, I mean, I don't really know at what point though. Didn't really say. I mean, it says execute Uber graph, you know. That's apparently the function that it's running. It'd be nice if it said the actual O54A. Is that actually one of these? Like, is that what one of these things is? O54A's got a name? Like a number? I don't know. What? It doesn't seem to be working at all. So let's see if it's even happening. I mean, I'm kind of anticipating getting it just thoroughly spammed with hello, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, I mean, they've already slammed into each other at least. Well, I got a few hellos. How is it that you know what, if it's gonna be a dick, I'm just gonna do it there and there. Whichever one happens first can lick my ass crack and just work, so I don't have to deal with it. Okay, so they got some that are stuck. I got a few hellos. I gotta stop counting the ants. It doesn't look like they're... Yeah, that's fine, because I mean the spawn points are taken up, so it's waiting, and I actually have a correction for that. By after the spawn, immediately trying to cast the spawn, and if this fails, it means it didn't spawn it, so we just go straight to spawn count. Otherwise, you can increment. That's the theory there. What the fuck did I just hit? How did I end up in there? I clicked like right here and right clicked. The hell? Poltergeist. So yeah, okay, let me do that RVO avoidance thing because I really hate them doing the wave. I really hate it. I don't even know what it means. I have no clue what it does, but let's see if they wave around. Well, these two hit each other and they didn't turn around, so it ain't working. But do they wave around anymore? Because that was really horrible. I assume that is them trying to adjust on like the hole or something, right? Like all of them making a global movement in one direction to help shift it or something. I don't know. It certainly doesn't look good. They're not doing it anymore, so I'm fairly pleased. It'd be kind of fun to throw a grenade right there, wouldn't it? Ladies, gentlemen. Oh, I gotta get away. Oh shit. I think it bounces off their collision cylinders, which I gotta fix. Yeah, it does kind of bounce right off their collision cylinders. There you go. There's one for you. Boing! That's just too much fun. What happened here? When it got put down, did it get traced against an ant? Was there an ant there when it got put down? Or was it always raised up in the beginning? I don't think it was always raised up in the beginning. And how come none of, like, I see. So, like, two of them are trying to get this one, and two of them are trying to get that one. So, the other thing I could do is a simple, is maybe, see, yeah, I'm getting all my hellos, but I am not getting, if bumped is set, we abort. Lower priority. Bumped is set. Bumped. Blackboard key. Bumped. And hello's getting fired. Maybe this is stupid. Maybe I need to get them to go to their left. It seemed to work okay on the spiders. I got them unclustered for, if I remember correctly, for a while. See, he almost felt like he was natural, but he's not. He's just going, somebody picked up his cheese, so he's going for the other cheese. It didn't have anything to do with him figuring out that he got hit, and somebody just took that one or something. Or maybe he is turning around correctly. Let me watch him. Nope. Alright, what's he going for? Cheese way over there? See, but he's not turning around. After 3 seconds he should turn around, right? Because he should be trying to find a spot behind himself. So I need kind of a lot of them, you know, in the scene for this to figure out, but it is confusing, trust me. Maybe it's an immediate fail. Maybe he's immediately blocked. Maybe I'll fail with a fail. Bumped is still true. That's not right. And if it is true, then why the hell is any of this running? Right? Wait. The fuck? Oh, all these numbers were all 5, 6, and 8. That was weird. Yeah, but what? Bumped is set. Bumped was true. Why wasn't this running? Is it because it's failing? I have no idea what to write here so that it shows up. I know this is running now, so I don't need the hello anymore. Now I want to know the result. I just don't even think that they're doing it. I mean, I'm getting herp or derp here. Because now they all can't do their thing. But I don't understand why the fuck they're not turning around. Maybe I got my math wrong. Maybe they're trying to pick a point ahead of them. Maybe I'm subtracting and then a negative. Or something stupid. Right? Maybe this is wrong. So let's do this real quick, just so I can cheat test, see where I'm going here. So I'm going to line trace by channel, throw that in there, we'll just pass it right through, start and then end here, and then I'll just show it for the duration, and I don't really give a shit. That's all. I'm just doing it so I can see where it is. Right, to see if that's good. Actually, they're gonna get spammed all over the place, I have a feeling, but hopefully I can catch them if I'm looking at one. Yeah, he went forward. Okay, so somebody's probably laughing at me, or freaking screaming at me. Get the forward vector and multiply the correct. Yeah. Fuck me. What did you asshole. What an asshole. Now they're doing it. This might get them just as clustered though. I really do not want that anymore. I'll keep it there for fun just in case I want to see it, but I don't think I really want to ever again. So yeah, they should be bumping around back and forth. And like I said, they should only be able to do it once every 3 seconds, so that they'll still push their way through a little bit. But I'm hoping that this gets it so that they can get all of the cheese eventually, which is a lot over here. But as long as they can get all the cheese around here, I'm okay with it. And I'm not seeing any stuckery going on yet. It might be a little bit something going on here, but I think eventually one of these guys is going to turn around and get out of the other one's way. See, and then they go for stuff, you know. We got a jam over here. Let's see if they can figure it out. This dick. This dick. But they're correcting it. They get somewhat stuck. I mean, there's a lot of them here. I mean, the fact that it's still the yellows going by means that it's trying to spawn every time. Every time it doesn't spawn yellow, it means it just spawned one. So there's a lot of them going on. My FPS is tanking worse. For sure, that ate some FPS. I was at 15. this is why, but just lost 3 FPS on them. Again, I'm not going to have this many. I may not even run that task. But it really should only be able to be ran once every 3 seconds. And they do actually fix themselves. And I think, well, no, they still haven't gotten all the cheese yet. Oh, he got it. What about you? See, he's getting turned around. Oh, look at that. Yeah, I know, my frame rate's been shit. Got 400 ants. It's weird how they're taking on some fairly uniform spots, but they're now officially going for the other cheeses, which is cool, right? Okay, here we go. Do 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 do. That's 11 here. I'm gonna end the video right here. I mean, it works. It's eating a little bit of FPS, but not really. I mean, if you look now, it's 15 again, but maybe because now they're all coming this way. It's some of them are bringing cheese this way, and I strongly object. He should have food. He should be bringing that cheese to his spawn point, unless he is trying to do that and constantly getting egged this way by the Richard behind him. But you, buddy, and he's not doing the animation. So something caused that to attach to him and not tell him that it's there. That's not good. And he might even be not the only one. Where is this guy trying to go? This guy's in has... Is the game locked up? It's not working unless I'm holding right click. And moving the camera. Okay, I'm gonna stop it. Yeah, there's something going wrong there. I can't really think of because this does fail. I mean, on failure, I could just, you know, sometimes you, if you want to be stupid, you could put this like that, but it's on the same node, so you'd put a delay and then you come back in if it fails and try it again, which should just get the same thing, but from his new position, because he's going to move and then get stuck and fail, right? So he'll be in a new spot. I think that's how it works. I don't know. Again, I'm pushing 400 of them right now, and I'm sitting here like a dumbass worrying about the FPS. That's kind of dumb, but at the same time, I kind of did have a good FPS for a little while at 400, and now I'm just chewing that away with everything I add, you know? So in that regard, at some point I gotta, you know, be okay with it. But again, they're in a very different type of what's going on? I'm not touching anything. Now I am. I got some kind of crazy delay on when I press the keys. It's really weird. I think I went into Lago Crazo mode, so let me just save as here, or save all. I might actually be ready to crash. It's telling me something here. It feels better now. I've never seen that happen before. It was really weird. But anyways, I'm gonna end the video, I guess, because it's freaking me out now. I think I'm just gonna shut it down and actually shut it down for the night, because it's like 1 in the morning. Hope you guys enjoyed this. This is a good way to fix it, I think, in one respect. I'm I'm not sure about grabbing the forward vector. You maybe want to grab the right vector and send them negative to their left. You can't, there's no grab left vector, okay? It's just grab right, forward, or up. And you just reverse it for the others. Yeah, maybe to the left might be a little bit better, because sending them straight behind themselves really does throw them off their course, right? And maybe we don't want to throw them off their course. Maybe we just want them to the other thing too is I wonder if I could give them like varying masses, you know, if that would make it so they push each other around. But I believe last time I tested, two characters, one with a mass of 0.001 and another one with a mass of 100 million cheesecakes, and when they pressed into each other they just stopped. It wasn't like the fatty pushed the little guy out of the way. They just stopped. So I don't think this does anything in terms of the character movement. Maybe that's changed in 4.10. I guess I could try it, but as far as I know, it doesn't make two shits of a difference. They'll just all get just as stuck, you know. So with that many though, it's hard for them not to get stuck, right? They're gonna have to do some serious, like, and I haven't even given them any lanes yet. That's the other thing too. I may or may not do that, where I actually say, okay, if you're spawning from here, then you are going to take this route. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to assign them a route either with a spline or just path points or something. That way, like, I should drive them so that they're not worrying about getting stuck. A lot of what's actually happening here is 4 spawns with random targets and stuff, you know. So all the randomness of everything here is driving a lot of the clusterage that you get, like right here. And this is still killing me, how some of them spawn underground and stay under there, pushed down. Look at, and there's one right here. Yeah, him. He just got bonked underground. How is that even possible? And he's off the nav mesh, so he doesn't know to move. You know, I don't want to be like, because here's the thing. I could be like really simply here, hey, if you're too low, go ahead and die. But I have to do that based, I guess, on the spawner, because in my game I have like a 2-story house, which is, you know, they're gonna be spawning way, you know, if I spawn them in the house, they're going to be spawning way up here. It doesn't matter, you know, oh, you're putting ants in the house? It doesn't matter. Any AI is going to do this shit. Any of them is going to sink, like 1 or 2 of them underneath. So yes, I could check, you know, I could destroy him if he gets off the nav mesh, I guess. And he's totally stuck. See, there are a few of them it's happening to. And more now as it gets clustered. I think eventually they will again they'll work their way out of it. But how about just for shits, and we'll see what it does to the frame rate. They should still, it shouldn't actually change much, because what'll happen is bumped won't ever get set to off anyway until he finishes his movement or fails it. So I could probably spam this off all day, like at 0.01 or something, or hell, just get rid of the do once, and I think it'll actually kind of behave the same. It'll just be a little laggier. I don't think they're going to bounce back and forth too much, because they still haven't reached their destination. I gave them a fairly far destination from behind themselves. Now if I shorten that, their correction distance, I don't know. I mean, I could try to figure out who's got right away. And stop the other one. This is upsetting me as well. Fact is, I need their collision cylinders to collide. I do not want to do that any other way. Yeah, they're like hopping up on each other. Maybe I need to make their cylinders a little bit taller. Let me try that. So just a little bit of bug fixing here. Let's go to the viewport. Because right now it's perfectly round, so well, it's almost perfectly round. So if they get shifted in any way, they'll probably start the step up. So I'm thinking, but it's such a shame because it's like I got all of this up here with collision cylinder that I just don't need. But it does stop them from getting on top of each other. I gotta make my, really the only problem is I gotta make it so that the grenade doesn't bump into it. And I probably need to make it so I don't hit it either. Because that's gonna be friggin' weird. Right? Me bouncing on top of all this kind of stuff way up there. So, like, this shouldn't be hitting pawns. Which is new. And not wanted, in my opinion. But it's tough because you're stuck with a cylinder, right? I also don't know why I have to move the ant so low. That cylinder is like floating. Maybe it's too small? No. But it floats. So I move the ant down. His feet are perfect right here, but if you look at it from the side, I mean, to me, that's way below the bottom of the cylinder. I wouldn't say it's like light years away, but I don't understand why that's happening. Why isn't this resting right on the bottom? This is what colliding. Unless, no, because this has to go push down. Yep. To receive headshots. I should put that back on too. Actually, while I'm here. I've already pretty much uh-oh. Okay, well, I think this is a good time to end the video since it's kind of acting a little bit weird in the editor. It actually came up with the save window and then did that thing where if you move it around it leaves the trail behind the whole thing. Yeah, I'm just going to stop. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one.